Hi, I'm Hannah, this is Piles of Books, and today I'm going to be sharing with you the second installment of my Raising Readers series, and we are going to be talking specifically about book lists. My go-to book lists for my kids and myself, and then some other resources that we use to get book ideas as well. Okay, so I've got all of my lists here. I normally keep them in a big binder, but I took them out to be able to share them a little bit easier. And before I do that, though, I do want to talk about a couple of other resources. So I already filmed this other resources clip, so I'm going to cut to that really quick, and then we'll come back and I will talk about my book lists. So I think probably the main one is the Reshelving Alexandria Facebook group, and they also have a website. They redid their website a while back, so I will try to link that in the description box. I can't remember exactly what it is, but they have some fabulous lists, and the Facebook group has a fabulous search function. I use the search function all the time. I mean, probably 2 or 3 times a week, I would say. If I pick up a book at the thrift store or at the library or something, it could be The Cross and the Switchblade. Maybe I don't know anything about this book, so I will get on there and I will search in the group, and, a lot of times I will find reviews for books. So, some books there might be tons of reviews for, some books there may not be very many reviews for. So they emphasize what they called content considerations, which is, I mentioned a couple of content considerations in my last video, all the books that I read in March. And so, it's not necessarily somebody saying, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. It's just, somebody saying, these are things that I observed in this book. Maybe there was crude humor, or maybe there was violence, or maybe there was a parent who died or something. So it's not necessarily like attacking anybody. It's just, okay, these are things that we found in this book that maybe you would want to be aware of. So I love the Reshelving Alexandria, everything. The Facebook group, the website, their book lists, their podcast, Stories from the Ashes, their newsletter, email newsletter. They also have some offshoot groups. So they have Reshelving Alexandria Reads, which is really where people talk about the books they're reading. The main Reshelving Alexandria group is more about curating a home library, and they did just recently put that in the group title. So but the Reshelving Alexandria Reads group is more about, these are the books that I read in March, and this is the star rating I gave them, or whatever. So I really enjoyed that. Another one is the Literary Life podcast discussion group. So I do use their search function as well to look up specific books, not as often as the RA group, but I do enjoy the books that they talk about in the Literary Life podcast discussion group too. And then another one that I don't have in my folder is the Robinson curriculum list. So this is a homeschool curriculum that is based solely on the 3 R's, reading, writing, and arithmetic, and they have a fabulous, fabulous book list. I do own the curriculum, so I have access to the book list, but it's not like you have to buy the curriculum to have the book list. But it really is just tons of classic books, and I will show you the book list that I made that is kind of based off of that. It has, some of their books, but I replaced a lot of them. So I will show you that, and you can kind of get a glimpse of that as well. But let me see. Obviously, BookTube, I love getting recommendations for myself and my kids from other booktubers. I have, a few people that I really trust, especially with kids' books. And things, homeschool curriculums like 5 in a Row, I also think are fabulous. So 5 in a Row is a homeschool curriculum that is literature based. So you can find those lists. If you just search online, 5 in a Row volume 2 book list, you can find, all the picture books that are in that list. Those are my top non-book list resources. I think if I can think of any others, I will share at the end of the video. But for now, I'm going to show you inside my binder and what these book lists look like. So the first book list I'm going to talk about is the one that I use the most often, and it is because it is our homeschool curriculum, and that is Ambleside Online. So you can search for Ambleside Online, and then they have like a master book list, and it is this printable, huge spreadsheet. I don't remember how many pages it is, but it's a lot. So I have been using this book list for longer than we have been using it as a curriculum. And you can see like I've got a bunch of highlights here. So those are books that we own. And then beside that, I write like an F for my oldest son. His name begins with F. So the ones that he's read, I do mark up this book list that way. And then I need to go through here and start adding the ones that my second child has read. So this is all the way from like kindergarten through high school. This book list I think is excellent, and if I could only choose one book list, I suppose it would probably be this one. That's kind of hard to pick, but this is the one that we use the most often. And like I said, we've used it for longer than we've done Ambleside Online as a curriculum. This is just a very worthy list, I feel like, to have. So, and of course it's split up, by author's name and the title of the book, and then what year in school it's used, what subject it is, and then there's some more things just pertaining to Ambleside Online specifically, but I love this list so much. So this is something that I would take with me to like a library book sale or something, or if I don't take it with me, I kind of like, I'll sit down and try to like, memorize some of it before I go. Yeah, this book list is great. I really enjoy it a lot. So the next list that I have is this one from Thomas Jefferson Education. I think it's just TJ Ed Online. Yep, tjedonline.com. It says it right up here. This book list is excellent. So Thomas Jefferson Education is a bit of a different philosophy of education, you could say, and they rely heavily on classic books, but not just any classics, finding classics specifically for your family. So they do have an excellent book list that is split up in like 3 main parts. I guess there's a 4th part as well, but the first part here is this classics for young children and family reading. So these are like things that you could do for read aloud. So Aesop's Fables, Andersen's Fairy Tales, the Bible, Charlotte's Web, Chicken Little, A Christmas Carol, all those sorts of books. Then they've got classics for young readers. So they have things like Alice in Wonderland, Anne of Green Gables, Ben-Hur, The Constitution, The Declaration, Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank. So all those kinds of books. And then they've got classics for adults. So this list is like Frederick Bastiat's The Law, Aristotle's Politics, Augustine's The City of God, Cicero, The Republic and the Laws. They have Copernicus and Dante, Robinson Crusoe by Daniel Defoe. So these are just more, advanced books like high school or adult. So one aspect of their list that I really enjoy a lot is this math classics for kids, and they actually also have math classics for adults. But they have on here like Anno's Journey, Anno's Counting Book, Anno's Magic Seeds, all of those types of books. The circumference books that I mentioned a couple videos back are on here. The Life of Fred math series. So that is something that is kind of unique to Thomas Jefferson Education, is they recommend teaching math like through the younger years until like way later in high school. Recommend teaching it through like story and picture books and that sort of thing. So we have really enjoyed getting a lot of books off of this list, and I need to update it because we do own quite a few more than what I have highlighted on this page. But some of the math classics for adults, they have Euclid's The Elements, they have books by Plato and Archimedes. What else do they have? Leonardo da Vinci, Galileo. So yeah, this is just a really well-rounded list that we have enjoyed as well. Okay, so another list that I use quite a lot is this. This is probably the one that I recommend the most to people, and that is this 1000 Good Books list by the Classical Christian Education Support Loop. Like, I don't think that that's really a thing anymore, but you can still find this list online. And again, I just printed it off, and I don't know why. Some of the pages printed this way, and some of the pages printed this way. So this list, this is fantastic. So it is split into different reading levels, but then within that, it's also split in, so like Bible for preschoolers and beginning readers, anthologies and poetry, holiday books, picture books, beginning readers, easy readers, and advanced readers. The only thing I don't like about this list is that there are a ton of books on here that are not available at my library. So I started using this list when my oldest, who is 8, when he was 2. I believe he was 2 when I found this list. And I would just go through and just get, 5 or 6 books at a time from the library. And now I cannot find very many books at all. So I went through here a while back and I highlighted the ones that we own, and I need to update this again. Anyway, this is just another fabulous list. I have not been disappointed with this list at all. So we have grades 1 through 3, and then I believe 4 through 6, and then 7 through 9, and 10 through 12. So yeah, this list is fabulous. And if you haven't heard of it yet, I highly, highly recommend it. I will definitely link it in the description. This one is so great. The next one that I want to share is from a website, An Old-Fashioned Education. Now, I wrote this out. This was the days before I had a printer. So I wrote out this list by hand. I didn't grab all the pages, and I didn't write out like everything. I just wrote out the first few grades worth. But I really enjoy this list. So these books are all, I believe you can find them all in the public domain. I do print off books occasionally. I have a good printer for that. And I will use my Kindle on a very rare occasion. I don't actually even know where it is right now. But I have put some of these books on my Kindle. But this has a lot of books like Among the Forest People, The Night People, Stories That Mother Nature Told Her Children, The Great Big Treasury of Beatrix Potter, Child's Garden of Verses. So this is a really an interesting list. I like it. It's not my favorite. We have had like quite a few books on here that I feel like we didn't really enjoy that much, but I think for what it is a really good list. And there are some on here that like I wouldn't have known, like these Among the Night People or whoever by C.D. Pearson. We've enjoyed some of those, and I wouldn't have known about them, I don't think, without this list. So this is a good one that we have used from time to time and enjoy okay. It's free online, and like I said, most of the books you can find free online too, and that is the point of it. So it can be really helpful, I think, to some people. And then the last list that I wanted to share is my version of the Robinson curriculum list. So the way that the Robinson curriculum works is you just start at the beginning of the book list and you just read through. And when you're done with the book list, you're done. As far as like language arts and reading and all of that. So it's supposed to last through high school. I want to say there's like, let me see if I have it written down. I want to say there's like 157 books. So what I did a while back before I had bought the curriculum was I did find a free list online, and I think it has since been taken down, which is fine. I mean, they own the list, but so I went through and I wrote down the books that we liked and we owned, or I thought we would own or something, but then there were some books that weren't really my favorite, and so I replaced them with other books. So I kind of combined like the Ambleside online list with the Robinson curriculum list, and I made my own list. So my oldest did start doing this, and he read through the first about the first 40, 50 books around there somewhere. He read through those. We did used to follow the Robinson curriculum. So he did read through those, and I thought it was really great. I think if there is a time in my life where like we're going through sickness or moving again or something like that, and we needed to rely on more of just a reading, writing, and arithmetic approach, I would probably pull this back out and we would use it. I think it's a really great resource for our family though. Just, I don't know, I enjoy it. We do still use it. I will look through here, you know, every now and then and just like, okay, have you read this one yet? Have you read this one yet? Okay, you know, let's add this to your list, that sort of thing. So also, I am just really proud of this list because it took a lot of time and a lot of effort. And I was expecting my third, I believe. I had a really difficult pregnancy. And so one of the things that I did while I was expecting her was I did a ton of book research. And that is when I mostly came up with this, kind of a rough draft of this. And then I perfected it, I think when I was pregnant with my fourth baby. So anyway, yeah, this is a really fun list. And like I said, I'm very fond of it because I kind of created it myself. And so anyway, okay, so that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for being here and listening to me ramble about book lists. And I'm sure that there are lists that I have or that I've seen that I forgot to mention today. I'll probably just have to do another part of this at some point. I would definitely love to know if you have some book list recommendations for me because I really just love a good book list. So yes, please share with me some of your favorite lists if you have any, and we will see you in the next video.